Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to another edition of APAC Dialogue. We have with us today our guest is Mr. Rajesh Sinha, the chairman and CEO of Fulcrum Digital, and he will take us through the business model of Fulcrum Digital and their business solutions, and as well as the future roadmap of the company. Before we start, just a brief introduction. APAC News Network is a digital news media network. We are headquartered out of Noida with a pan-India presence and presence across Asia in both Southeast Asia as well as the Middle East. And we primarily focus on technology deployment across governance, healthcare, education, BFSI, manufacturing, technology, and the likes. So, without further ado, I would like to hand it over to our guest of the day, Mr. Rajesh Sinha. So, Rajesh, it would be best if you can start with a brief introduction about yourself, then take us through the genesis of Ultram Digital and also update us on the portfolio of solutions and services that Fulcrum offers. Over to you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajneesh ji, and thank you for having me on your show. I'm very excited to talk about what we do, where our head is about future and value creation. So, started the company Fulcrum about 23 years back. So, company has gone through a journey. I call it a 5 versions. So, every 5 years you put it into 1.0. I think today we are at 5.0. What we had the evolution of Fulcrum, the way it has evolved is first 10 years, so 1.0 to 2.0, we were like a technology service provider. Portal content management, SMAC, social, mobile analytics, collaboration. And then later part, when it was 3.0 and 4.0 journey, we became a business service provider, means domain-centric value creation, not just the technology-centric, right? So then we assembled our company into 5 parts, call it a business unit, like payment domain, insurance, consumer product services, higher education, and food industry. So with that, we created the domain-centric focus so we can create a better value for our customers. And today, where our head is, we think the industry requires intelligent platform. So from technology provider, we became a business platform provider. And now from business platform provider, we feel that the future trend requires intelligent platforms, AI, virtual reality, cloud, analytics, more and more advanced tools for better insights for the company so that they can accelerate and be disrupted in their space. So that's what we offer. And if you look at our offerings, it falls under 3 buckets. The first bucket is we do assessment, digital assessment, more like a digital doctor. So when you go to a doctor looks at your problem and then recommends you what's your solution, right? The same thing we do. When any company we talk to, we ask a lot of questions in the beginning, understand the real problems, and then recommend the roadmap. So that's the first offering called assessment. The second one is creative and design studio. So customer need to see about how the project will feel like from user perspective through new ways of experience delivery. And that design studio delivers for our customers. The third is platform engineering. And that's where we build software services for all these big banks and insurance company and healthcare company. We build their platforms, software development. And there we use our own product called Fulcrum One. And what it does is it accelerates the software development life cycle. If it takes like 6 months, using Fulcrum One, we can deliver in 2 months. So that gives us a competitive edge in the market. Instead of building software program brick by brick, we can give the ready-made components. And then the last offering we have, and then 2 more offerings we have, is a platform implementation. So we implement platforms like Magento, Shopify, Salesforce. These are the e-commerce platforms. We implement that. And the last offering is DevSecOps, where we manage the cloud infrastructure, or manage the whole application landscape for any client. So that's our fourth offering. So that's how we provide all the services to customers, and we become their long-term IT partner, right? So we enter it with assessment, and then we end up managing their life cycle. So I'll pause it
So,
here and see how you like to take it forward.
yeah, couple of questions. One, okay, so as you are sort of helping the enterprise customers with their entire software lifecycle management, my question is, what about the integration? See, almost all organizations either will have now a lot of applications are on a cloud environment, so they will have certain cloud platform. They will have different other enterprise application platform. And there will be certain platforms where other apps also reside. So there is a question of integrating A with certain cloud platform, integrating with other software platform, and lastly integrating with other applications itself. So I know obviously you will have APIs, but how do you ensure seamless integration which doesn't hamper the productivity of the organization? That is one. And the second part is um, how do you ensure the security part in this scenario?
Good question. So there is a book which I have written called Digital Operating Model: The Future of Business. And in that, I have given one example of shopping mall. So I'll answer your question with that metaphor: how shopping mall operates, to understand the enterprise application landscape and integration scenario, right? In two words, the answer is platform mindset. So whenever businesses have so many silo systems, they need to have a digital roadmap to put all the pieces together in an order, so that their customers and their employees are continuously getting value out of their IT system, IT ecosystem. And for that, digital roadmap is required. And second, once that is called platform mindset. So you put all the platforms and then integrate it properly. So let's get back into shopping mall analogy. So before shopping mall concept came in, what was happening? People used to go for shopping. They'll buy shirt and clothing at one place, for grocery another place, for dining at third place. So for everything they used to run around. The moment the mall comes in, you have a food court there, boutique store there, all kind of stores, specialty stores, general stores, medical stores. So you park at one location and get everything what you need. The same thing happens in enterprise landscape. Once you create your business like a mall, which we call it a business platform approach. So your business acts like a platform. In businesses, you have a lot of systems which employees are using, and there are systems which your customers are using. Both have to be put in a certain manner, so that handshake of data happens across the systems. So data flow is like a blood flow in the human body, right? So same way in your organization, when you can track the data flow, and that's where the connector happens. So when you build the enterprise architecture, you build all these connectors, middleware architecture, so that you can start having data flow, data exchange, and you start making meaning out of those data, better insights, better predictability, so that you can continuously give more value to your customers. So that's what I would answer that to you, but I can take this discussion further as well, how companies move from here to the next level. But let me pause and see what further questions you have over here.
For this analogy that you have given,
Hmm.
the shopping mall, it's a nice analogy to
Thank
make
you.
people understand. But one, I'll say, the objection or whatever, that might not be the word. One challenge there is, say, typically
Hmm.
it's not necessary the shopping mall is one where you are getting everything, but they may not be the premier offering in that particular category.
Hmm.
So there, there is a possibility of in certain situations you are compromising on quality. And more importantly, the connectors that you are talking about, that might not always be seamless because it's somehow one vendor kind of that old debate about a multi-vendor approach and a one vendor approach, putting all the eggs in a single basket kind of thing. So that challenge is there. And one additional question I would like to ask, you mentioned about the data. Now, all these data are coming from very heterogeneous sources. So,
Mhm.
to do very accurate or proper analytics, how do you sort of assimilate that heterogeneous data so that some sort of homogeneity can be achieved out of that?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I could not answer your data security part earlier, but now I'll take it up. So, both the questions, you said that it may not be possible to get everything from shopping mall. Maybe that's not the most modern shopping mall. But let me help you clarify that point. When I said mall, it doesn't have to be that enterprise company system in-house. That means this whole platform mindset works certain applications in-house, certain applications on a cloud. So it's your ecosystem, you build it, which is a combination, or it can be 100% cloud, it could be combination of on-premise or cloud, but it's so that you can leverage all the modern things available in the market for you, right? If you don't have that ability, you're not ready with that mall concept and a platform concept. So ability to plug in, plug out any modern thing. So that's one clarity. Coming back to your question about the security and data protection, as we all know that now consumers, they want to monetize themselves. The market trend is changing. So if you look at it, web 2.0 to web 3.0, why web 3.0 is becoming more prominent? Because consumer wants to own their data and monetize it instead of vendors owning the data and monetizing it, or their privacy issues, and they decide. And that's where the web 3.0 gives those capabilities. In a simple term, when you build an IT architecture, you keep your data layer into solid form, your business logic into liquid form, and your consumptions or delivery of your applications into gas form. Simple, I'm just trying to give a couple of metaphors because these are complex topic and I don't want to use technical jargons for listeners to get more confused. So when you keep data into solid form, what is solid form? You don't break solid every now and then, right? So data has to be governed, put right structure, only right policy people should be having an access. So that's why we call it a solid form. But business logic keeps changing. Like today you want 3 level people to access it, tomorrow you want 5 level people to access it, but those two layers are separate. You don't have to keep change data based on the logic getting changed. Today you're consuming your system through mobile phone, tomorrow you will consume through augmented reality, metaverse, through voice. So once you start consuming it, again, data is in solid form, logic is in liquid form, and you can keep bringing new devices to extract the meaning out of it. So once you build architecture like that, you have an ability to govern it, secure it, and that's where nowadays a lot of great tools out there in the market for data lineage, data accuracy, data security. So all that has to be defined very well, and that's what I call data maturity model. So in the company, your maturity goes from level 1 to level 5, and good IT company or consultant should educate you at what level your company's data maturity exists, and how do we move from level 1 to level 5. And once you continue to be on that journey, you try to make your IT systems more secure, and that's when the IT architecture becomes more robust and gives better value to the company. I'm not sure if I answered the question what you're looking for, but I can add.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The analogy or metaphor, whatever you say, that has been. So now let's come to more the business aspect, and specifically, as most of our viewers are looking at the India as a market. So let's be more specific. So one I would like to ask. Since 4.0, 3.0, and 4.0, you had a vertical based approach. So let's keep this question more vertically. What sort of traction you had seen, the maximum traction in which of the verticals, and very briefly, what are those use cases, and more specifically for the Indian market itself?
Very good. So there are two parts of our business to understand Fulcrum in a better manner. One is IT services part, right? And then there is their IT software product part, which is the software SaaS offering. So we offer our SaaS product in food space, right? In culinary, food management. And I see a lot of traction in India market for food security, food adulteration, green sustainability. And our platform is able to deliver all those value what the trends are right now, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about that food and how values are created in today's market with the power of digital platform. On the other side, on a services side, we are creating value using, say, payment industry. So we work in the payment, we build multiple rails, different kinds of new payment platforms. As you know, people due to pandemic and now people are adopting new ways of transaction, right? And that new payment platforms are our core competencies to offer in the market, right? The second one is the insurance. Now insurance is also going to the next level. The way insurance policies are issued, the claims are done, instead of processing 10 days for claims, it can be processed in few hours. That's the power of digital platforms, right? Coming back to the food side, the real example I'll give you is, say, food is getting catered to hospitals, schools, universities, any large gathering, catering, wherever the hundreds and thousands of plates are getting served on a monthly basis, you need a back-end software and front-end software. The back-end means where the products are coming from farmer to the warehouse, purchasing, inventory, and then it goes in the kitchen. So kitchen will have a menu, recipe, and nutrition, right? If all these processes are digitized, you can track the nutritional value, the prep time, allergen information. As you know, food is a medicine, so you can literally track it. Same way how you consume it. So you can order food from mobile phone. You, like, as a parent, you can decide what your kid should eat in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, at 9 o'clock. Oh, this is the menu. I want my kids not to have milk and nuts. They should have, you know, healthy diet, right? So as a parent, you have an ability to select. Same way in the hospitals, the doctors can select, he's a kidney patient, he should not eat XYZ things, right? The mobile phone, doctor can punch in or nurse can punch in, and the same meal is getting delivered from the kitchen to the patient, right? So those are the power of digital platform. You can extend this digital platform to the farms to track the quality of soil, track the quality of produce. Like if you make a sandwich and you put different kind of onions, different kind of cheese, based on that, it can tell you what kind of nutritional and calorie you are eating, right? What kind of health benefit you will have. So today, digital platforms are bringing revolution in on this planet, and that's very much needed. It controls the wastage of food, right? So if based on the order you have, you only get so much of food outside to prepare, and good digital platform can assess and tell you how much you need. So that saves wastage of the food, and that's good for the planet, for all of us. So that's the use case. Let me know if any other use case you want me to elaborate, like payment or insurance. I'll be more than happy to do that.
A little bit on the payment use case, and also if you can indicate whoever are the referenceable marquee customers, the names.
Yeah, so we work with some leading banks, pretty big names. And what these big banks are doing in the payment space, they are reducing the transaction fees. Today, like credit card will be charging X amount of transaction fee, right? And now consumer wants to pay less money. So you want to accelerate the payment platform through pay by phone, through real-time payment, you're paying bills online. So how you can have a direct account to account transfer, real-time payment transfers, for all that there are governance regulations. It requires better payment platform to transact between the consumer, the bankers, merchants. So all these backend process which goes on for payment transaction requires a payment platform ecosystem. And when you build this robust multiple payment platform with a cost effective method, you reduce the multiple brokers in between, and you reduce the fee structure for the transaction. And that's what consumer wants. So you don't want to pay 2%, you want to pay 0.5%, you want to pay 0.3%. So that savings goes directly in the consumer's pocket. And that's what the market trends are happening. And we are building those platforms.
Yeah, for both food space and the banking space, who all are your referenceable customers?
Yeah, so we, because of some of the client confidentiality, these are the hospitals, some of the banks, they want us to keep privacy there. But I can have my team release the names. But big hospitals and the US, if you look at it, there is a companies like Whitson's. They are providing 200 school districts. So New York, New Jersey, Boston to DC. There is a company called Quest. They are in Chicago. There is a company called HHS. They're about $1 billion company, provide hospitals. So more than 300 hospitals are using it. That's how, the top banks are using our payment platforms. Large insurance companies like Fairfax group of companies, Crum and Foster's, they use our services in insurance areas to make a better digital platform and improve the efficiency. So these are some of the customers we have.
So you seem to have customers in the East Coast as well as in the central part, Chicago you were mentioning. So where are you actually based out of?
So, so we are servicing customers in the US, London, and in India now, right? And India is growing exponentially for us. Here also the hospitals and the schools, and there are a lot of meal plans and the government sectors, they are buying our products. And actually now we are realizing a lot of jails and correction facilities, they also need a better software platform for the good quality meals in the jails. So there are new market we are identifying where our platforms can be serviced. And India, as you know, with so much of population, there is a great opportunity for our platforms to be adopted in India. So as a target market, we are catering to primarily US, UK, Nordics like Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and some customers we have in Middle East. We are not pretty big there, but we have a lot of referential customers, and we have been servicing few of them in Middle East. But our focus quite a lot is in the US and London, and now in India with our food platform and payment platforms.
And what sort of go-to-market strategy do you have in place? How do you operate?
So the way we operate, as I mentioned, we have this 5 business unit we call pod, and each pod has two things, two in a box: sales team and delivery team. And sales team, they have to focus on 3 things: net new business, existing business, and existing new business. So they have to continuously exceeds the expectations of our existing customers so that we can retain the business and add new value to our customers so that they are continuously engaged with us. And then finally we hunt the new customers. So that's how there are sales team, marketing team for each pod dedicated. And then they are generating leads. They are going through a lot of events, direct calls, through partners we are generating leads, and then through our platform marketing, right, through distributors. Now we are focusing more on SaaS side, on a food side, more to sell through the partners rather than having a direct presence, because we have come to realize our product is selling by itself. People just need to know about it, see it, and after that product will sell. So we just need to make it more visible in the market. So channels will be a great strategy for us.
How is your presence in terms of the both the delivery and the sales team? And as you mentioned, primary focus is in three geographies: UK, the US, and India. So, how are you placed? Where are the locations
Yeah.
specifically?
So overall, if you look at the split of 1,200 employees, which we will have, and then we are doubling our size in the next 3 years. So we should be about 2,400 people in 3 years. And the way today's, the way our programmers are and technical team members are located, biggest hub is Pune in Hinjewadi, and where I'm speaking with you right now, in Hinjewadi. This is the building we have, and we have a campus where we have our programmers. Good amount of, so I would say 70% of our staff is in Pune, and then rest of them are in the US, London, and Argentina and Brazil as well. So because a lot of creative team and those developers, they create value to our customers. So that's where we have remaining developers, and we continue to expand. Like 65-70% staff will continue to be in India,
Where
and
are you in US? In US, where are
so
you?
we are in New Jersey and Chicago in US, and then in central London in UK.
Okay. And I want to ask one fundamental question, though partly you have answered it, but what would you count as Fulcrum's unique differentiators, say, against cloud platforms like an AWS or an Azure, or say even the software platforms like, say, what an Oracle or IBM would have? They would have also those middleware and so. How would you uniquely differentiate Fulcrum?
So for last 4 years, we have been maturing our platform called Fulcrum One, which is a part of software services business model. So when you build software projects, we plug in this software tool called Fulcrum One, which actually accelerates the software development lifecycle and reduces the cost for our customers. So if some of our competitor has given a price, say X dollar, can we do it in 0.7x? Like, can we give 30% reduction of the price and also give a better quality product, right? And that's where we score points over our competition, right? So Fulcrum One gives us an advantage. And what is Fulcrum One? Fulcrum One is, you can say in simple term, low code, no code development platform. So it's a platform. So it's, if you're building a house, and instead of building wall brick by brick, you get the ready-made wall, you get the ready-made kitchen, you get the ready-made bathrooms, and if you assemble it together, your business platform is ready. That's what is Fulcrum One, right? Because when you build a digital platforms, you need a notification engine, you need a dashboard analytics. So there are a lot of bells and whistles are standard, so those are plug and play. And then it has an ability to map the business rules a little faster according to the market demands, instead of writing the software code line by line, right? So that Fulcrum One makes us unique. The second area which we feel gives us a focus is, if we are good in finance, we are good at payment. We really understand payment very well. So we become thought leader in payment. If we are in food, we understand food very well, right? So whatever areas of business domain we have selected, we are not just the technology guru in that domain, but we are a business experts also in that domain, right? So that makes us unique. And then the third is, we always have a desire to keep learning new things and adding into our platform mindset, right? Whether it's metaverse, augmented reality, we keep bringing new values to our customers so that they can learn from us, instead of they are experimenting and innovating on their own. So they can literally create an innovation lab with us instead of spending money and creating a lab there, right? So those three things on a high level, I would say, differentiates us. And one underlying thing is culture, and everybody talks about culture, but we're truly proud of it. You know and that can be only seen because we retain customers for 10 years, 12 years, which is rare for our size company, and we rarely leave these, lose those customers. So they continue to grow, and that's what gives us the stability in the business. And finally, We have a doctor mindset, so we always ask questions. We are bold to ask questions. We are not an order taker. Customer will tell you to do it, we just don't go and do it. We understand it better. We ask questions so that customer gets that, they understand the problem also very clearly with our ability to ask those questions. So those are the few things makes us unique.
Okay, so my last question would be, say, let's look ahead for the next 6 to 7 quarters. And what, from a Fulcrum perspective, will be your key focus areas that can be in terms of products, in terms of services, solutions, geographical expansion, any other expansion, whatever. So, strategy wise, what are going to be the key focus areas?
So as a strategy for next 36 months, we have formulated a plan of 3 years and 5 years, right? So two-phase plan we have. And understanding the market dynamics, the first focus of ours is deliver best for our existing customers, right? So without any compromise, making sure we are doing everything possible to deliver on the quality services and retain that business and revenue model. Then the same customers are also going to go through opportunity and challenges in this economic conditions. So we have to have a partnership model with them. So we are creating an best value at the right price for those net new business with existing customer. And then the third is we are scouting for customers in those focused area like payment, life insurance market. So we work with good few large life insurance companies in Indian market too. So we continue to create more value for banks and life insurance customers in Indian market, right? So we'll grow that. Food business, continue to pay focus on that. And then our consumer product services, e-commerce transaction. A lot of companies, they want new technology and platforms to sell the products, and that's what we are going to be focused on, right? So focus is the key for us. Wherever we have succeeded, we need to go deeper and get more and more things out from those domains and expand our customer base. So the way I say our strategy is built around like solar system. So our customers have first degree connect. Within that customers network, we find so many other customers through reference, through their first degree connects. We can get more customers for ourselves. Then we can attack third degree connects of those customers. And within that ecosystem, we have carved out a solar system for ourselves. And we feel we have enough business to grab within that ecosystem which exists around us. We need to just stay focused, bringing right people, right seats, and it all revolves around four things. We have a firm corporate strategy, structure, people, and execution. So once you have a right people in the right seats and you can measure the performance, you can retain customers, you can add value to the customers, and you can onboard new customers in this model. So that's what we are keeping our focus.
Great. Thank you.
My
It
pleasure.
was a pleasure talking to you. Thank
Same
you.
here. Thank you for having me.